Greetings, I am Tom Earl, and this is my year of expression, and this is one of my top 3 favorite shirts, and these are both of my ears, and these right here, this is what I'm really here to talk about. Let's get to the point here, Tom. Okay, these are doors, okay? I don't know if anybody told you that. 2 doors to be exact. And to me, they symbolize what I want to talk about today, which is making choices, right? This is a thing. Remember in a video, remember I was in IKEA, remember that whole, I said, don't sweep your problems or your tough conversations under the IKEA rugs. They don't like that, okay? This is one of the things that I have a tendency to do is to avoid making tough choices, right? Have you ever felt that where you're outside the door of 2 opportunities and you try to avoid it, you hope it goes away, and the anxiety just kind of builds, that pressure of, what if I make the wrong choice? What if it messes up my life? What if I have 2 great choices and I pick one that could have been better than the other? Oh my gosh, you ever felt any of those things? So what has empowered me in moving through choices is 2 things. One, believing in myself and the pathway I'm on, is that I just go back to this spiritual belief I have that everything happens for a reason, and that I am in a school, and that school is called life. And I'm here to learn. Sometimes, though, I'm a tough learner. I always gave my teachers a hard time. So sometimes I make a decision so I can learn the hard way. But you know, even the craziest of things that's happened to me 5-6 years ago, I'm like, that was crazy, but I'm glad I learned that lesson. And that knowledge helps me move forward. And that brings me to point number 2, which I'm going to share with you a little Tom Earl life story. Okay, so get your popcorn ready. The thing that happened to me when I moved right out of the awesome, amazing, super cool state of Wisconsin, my home state, when I moved to this foreign land known as Florida, I immediately was confronted with this crisis I've never faced in my life. It was such a big crisis that I almost thought I was going to have to move back home after a week of leaving. And so I called my dad and was like, Pops, I laid it all out and said, what should I do? I'm at a place where if I make the wrong decision, it could be game over and I'm coming home. And, he just was silent for a second. And, my heart's pounding like, oh God, what's he going to say? And he was like, I can tell you what decision I would make, or I can tell you what decision I think you should make, but it's time for you to be your own person. But remember that whatever decision you make, your ability to make another one is just around the corner. And that to me was so powerful, because it was the first point, trust in myself. And it was the second thing that I learned, that whatever decision you make, we have the ability to meet any challenge that comes our way with confidence, right? Whatever decision you make, it's not the end of your choices. You can always make another choice. In fact, you can make another choice a second after your other choice, right? So just remembering that when you're outside 2 doors like this, right? Or you're trying to think, should I get on the dance floor? Go for it. Make a decision. Sometimes making no decision is worse than making the wrong one. But know that everything you have in life is with you right when you need it. And then trusting, knowing that even if you make the wrong decision, your ability to correct course is just around the corner, right? So go for it. If you want to continue this conversation or get in more detail about other criteria I use to make choices, let me know. We can continue that. So at Snapchat, Tom Earl Artist, Instagram, Tom Earl Artist, or at tomearl.com/join. Thank you so much for this moment. I wish you peace and blessings.